I got for selling me clothes, others for selling me blanket. If ever I list for the soldier again, devil shall be me sergeant.
Right, hello ladies and gentlemen. Obviously this is a continuation on to what I will call the concealment belt. Asked the gentleman, did he want a little foam pouch to go on it, and he said yeah, that'd be an excellent idea and something he'd very make use, everyday use of. So I'm going to make one, and again it's going to hide a little something that, you know, I was mindful I wanted in the belt and couldn't fit it in. So and that comes to do with shelter, the most important thing, retaining your body heat. So that's just a little thing to keep you excited, well, interested. Ladies and gents, conversed with a gentleman and his phone is an iPhone 6, which he roughly informs me is 6.5 inches long and 3.5 inches wide. Now, quite nicely, this diary is exactly the same size and roughly about the same, so it's easier. Some people can just measure out. I like to do it like that. So I've got black material because that's what he's reflected, and I've cut it out, ladies and gents. You can see the chalk marks. Always use chalk, not a crayon pencil, because you never get that off. So here we see then, that's the front, and you can see there, just so I know what I'm doing, and it's good for you to do it as well. A little chalk mark there, that's where my Velcro is going to be. So that's going to be the front, that's going to be the turnover to make the top of the patch stiff, phone going in and out easy. That's going to be there, and then as you can see, that's going to be, there's more than enough there to come down, turn over for the flap. Okay, I'm obviously making it a lot wider than it needs to be because I'm going to pull this inside out, and on the inside of the pouch, and you will see it, there's going to be a slip all the way through it. There's going to be an opening here and an opening on that end, ladies and gents. So I'm just going to come back and make sure you've got that in shot. Now what I'm going to put inside that and conceal it, and it will provide some padding for the gentleman's phone. Normally I just use a little bit of foam in there. I think is a very, very good idea, and at this point the only person that knows what's going to be in there is the gentleman. So yes, ladies and gents, so that's going to be the pouch, that's going to be the inside, and it's going to be sewn just down the sides, and again not across there, to allow a slip. We can slip an item in there. What items? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and do some sewing up and bring you back, ladies and gents. Right, ladies and gents, I've done a little bit of sewing up there, and just bring you back, because what I've done is folded over that edge to make it a little bit firmer when the phone's going in and out. And remembering, that's the top of the pouch, okay? That's going to be the back, and that's going to be the flap, so you're looking at the outside of it at the moment. Crucial to sew your piece of Velcro on, or if you're going to put a buckle on, you could do, but Velcro is more than adequate for that. An easy way, without measuring, to find out where the centre of this piece of material is just to fold it in half, like that, and as you can see, make a little mark there. So your Velcro's central, and as you can see, make sure I'm in shot because I've moved that now. There's one there, and it's sewn underneath. There's one there, just to make sure that them two items that must be sewn on before you do anything else, before you start actually assembling the pouch, just to ensure that they're in the centre. That's an easy, very easy way, a little trick to do that. So there we go, ladies and gents. I'll just show you quickly the makeup of the pouch. That's how the phone's going to go in. As we know, this is roughly this, a little bit bigger, but I'm assuming the gentleman's probably got one of them little covers on it or something, you know. So there's that, and when we go to turn round, there's going to be the pouch, and when it's sewn up, make sure you're in. Think what was there? That's Mrs. Tightwood coming back, and Boudica doing a little guard dog thing there. Right, ladies and gents, so that is it. I mean, you just sew that up inside out, turn it inside out, and you can do it. Now normally with a phone, because they're rather expensive, I would sew a piece of this spongy type material in. I'm sure you will keep a bit of that handy, you know, for when you're packing and your Amazon stuff comes. So I'd like to make it a little bit robust, and as I said, this is going to be a concealment pouch. So on the inside of it, and I must sew them on the outside first, you see where I mean now? If I sewed that tunnel in there, or that long continuous loop, guess what, ladies and gents? It would not be able to sew them on without doing that. So at this point, you may be wondering why I'm going to do that, and that will be about that long. that's how long the loop's going to be, from there to there. So inside, you know what, as this is for the concealment belt I've made for the very generous gentleman, and I'll show you that, there is going to be a film on that, we're going to make another one for me. All I thought to do is, do you know, what can we replace this padding with that you would really want, very important in, you know, when thing goes wrong, you would probably want one on you at all times, okay? And an easy way to carry it. So what I've got there is a space blanket, and this is one of the Life Systems ones, it's not a pound shop one, and I'm going to take that out of the packet, which I'll do now. What I mean is, this is a mountain rescue space. Always go for your quality kit, ladies and gents. So if you can imagine now, well, isn't it going to be a good idea, and I'll probably have to pre-fold this, which isn't a problem. Oh, look at that. Oh, how sexy is that, ladies and gentlemen? So inside this pouch here, that's not going to be sewn, okay, there will be a survival blanket protecting the iPhone. At any time, the gentleman, this is the top of it, okay, and that's how it's going to be, just so you really get a good idea of how that's going to be. So that's going to be in there, that's going to be sewed down there, so a nice little bit of padding there, and it will be protected. And obviously that's the pouch like that and coming over. So what a really good way to carry a space blanket, and it is one of the decent ones, at all times. And should the gentleman need to get it, okay, it's not going to be coming in and out any other day. One time use these things are, although this is a robust one, you can literally pull it out, okay. So ladies and gents, hopefully that shows you what I aim to do, because now is to take that, and remember it's can only go from where the flap is, so from there to there, and then sew that loop on the inside. Now all I'm going to do is, using my big fingers, sew that down there and sew that down there, okay, not across, because I want this to be a continuous loop, so you can either pull it out or push it out if needed be. But yeah, so there you go, ladies and gents. I'm not going to widen it out or anything like that, that's fine. Now to amplify padding and carry a full blanket about with you at all times. So I'll get that on and I'll bring you back. Right, ladies and gents, as you can see now, I've sewn that literally not across the top, but just down the side, give it a little zigzag stitch there, just that's where any possible stress points can be, just normal sewing all the way around. Okay, here we have, you've seen the space blanket, we'll call it. I'll keep that on the inside and push that in there, completely concealed. So that's going to be the phone. Just come back and make sure I'm in shot there. Okay, when I sew this up, obviously this is how it's going to go. So it's going to be like that, and then here, when the air's pushed out, you can see that's going to be the flap, and on the back you can see the belt loop, which is, I've done it for 50mm, i.e. military belt, but if you're just using it on a trouser belt, it's just going to hang from the top either way, but it will give you some lateral left and right, you know, when you go to sit down in a car or whatever, it will just move as your hip hits it. But ladies and gents, so all I've done there really, as opposed to a bit of poncho padding, because this is going to go in a concealment belt, it's an iPhone pouch, and just worked out a way, really nice way, because you can't get it in the belt, because that's sort of too wide, and once you unfold these things, you're not going to fold them back again to fold them smaller, though it possibly could be done. But I just think alongside that survival belt, what a nice little way, and when the gentleman needs to, he can go in and pull it out. But again, he's not going to do it unless he's in a world of hurt and he needs that to either make an improvised sort of shelter with, or wrap it around himself to preserve his body core temperature, which, you know, can kill you quite quickly. Right, so I'm going to do now, ladies and gents, go up there, and I will keep the survival blanket in there, and I'm just going to do as I normally do, bring it up to the mark, sew down there, and then turn it inside out, and I'll bring you back when I've done that. Right, ladies and gents, all I've done is so this is inside out now. Okay, there's the sleeve, going all the way around the bottom, and here we can see You can actually hear the space blanket. Again, it's just meant to be concealed in there. Could be in there for years until the gentleman needs to use it. That one's okay, but what I am going to do here is to see here, you've got that little thing there, push that down a little bit. I'm just going to put a tiny sort of lockdown stitch just there, and it's only going to be about a few stitches, so you can stick your finger through and just pull it out, if that makes sense, just to close that down. You know, normally if it was foam it would be sewn in all the way, but at some point that may have to come out. So again, it's just going to be a little stitch there and there. When you're putting your phone in, it may catch and that will become annoying. You see that as it goes in? So I'm just going to put a little stitch. You might put one just there and there. Easy enough to tear with your finger. Obviously sewed inside out, and I now have the dubious pleasure of turning that the right way out, and that normally involves swear words and so forth. It's just a pain. So I'll bring you back when I've done that. But before I do sew that up, I am going to put the little stitch in there just to close that down, and just to close that down again. That's going to be in there forever and ever, and hopefully the gentleman never needs to use it, but he has got a proper top of the range silver 4 blanket in there. Right, let's say, bring you back. Right, ladies and gents, again I've turned that inside out now. No real worries, but we can still see the padding, and obviously the model I'm using, because it's exactly the same as dimensions given, 6.5 by 3.5. Right, phone going in and out, it will be in like a jackrabbit all day, so we don't want anything to impede it going in. No need to make it too tight whatsoever, bearing in mind I have a similar pouch but without the space blanket myself. So learning from experience, just get it so it goes in and out nice and easily. Belt pouch on the back, okay. I normally have one lower down, but which is not need to do this on one. So I've turned it inside out now, and what I'm going to do here, make sure I'm in, I will then sew, not along the bottom obviously, but around there and up there, just to tidy that edge up. That's a double edge, you can see there, and then when I come here I will just take that in and sew that up there. So I'm only going to be pulling it in about that much, ladies and gents, okay. I'll do that on both sides, so that's what I will end up with at the end. That will then fold over, velcro on there, and there's me flat, if that makes sense. It will do when I bring it back. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you will see I've just tidied up the edge there, sewn down there, over, turn that edge over there to make that a nice edge. Done the same here, so we can see it's sewn. On the back we've got the belt loop. KISS, keep it simple, keep it stupid. Basically, that, as we know, is exactly the same size as a gentleman's phone by the dimensions he's given me, so that can fit nicely in there. And as you can see, before I'm going to put a couple of hand stitches there just to pull that down so it doesn't have the effect of catching as he puts it in. And again, it's just a couple of steps to rip should you want to get that space blanket out. So again, that's how big the phone is. Don't make it too small, too tight, because it'd just be a pain to get in and out. But a simple, not too difficult to make phone pouch, and which is always handy for everybody, and literally velcro sealed. Might put a little tab on there to make it easier to grab for the gentleman. All I need to do with that is tidy up all my little loose threads and go around with a little scrubbing brush just to get rid of my chalk marks, and that's it done, ladies and gents. So as opposed to having a bit of foam in it like that, I've concealed a space blanket for padding, and you can hear the padding, look, and that should sit in there concealed until whenever the gentleman or persons need it. Not a bad way of just carrying a little full blanket, because this is going to be attached to the gentleman's concealment belt, which I'm building another one, and I will do a how-to on that, but I'll go and get the belt and show you how it attaches to the belt, so bring it back later. As we can see, you've got the little opening there, going in that way. There's going to be a small, gentleman's going to put some small string on that, so feed it all the way through, so you can grab hold of it here and then just pull this round from that. If it's a tiny bit tight, you can just shave a little bit off there to get it in, but it's not meant to come in and out every single day of the week. It's meant to be there concealed, ready for use when needed. So on that's the concealment belt. But the beauty of these things, remember that away from your body. That is now a, imagine that coming round. So there's your belt. Gentleman's phone is now on there, and quite nicely, because it's too much to hide in there, there is a space blanket that is accessible when needed by pulling some stitching away, non-vital stitching, just to pull that away so we can get that. I will just do that with a little hand stitch because that's in the way. So that's the pouch there, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, very happy with that. Nice little way. Always having your phone there. Probably put a couple of pens in there, probably maybe a small notebook, because I've not made it tight. There's times when we like things tight as a Virgin Fanny, and times when we don't, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. It's a rather simple, but I think effective, robust little iPhone 6 or 5S or whatever it is anyway. And obviously that little knife, along with all the other kit, can fit inside that belt, and that's designed to be round at the back inside there. So ladies and gents, hopefully that's been of interest to you, and there you go. Doesn't really matter if you don't want to put the space blanket in there. It's just a little lesson on how to make a simple flat pouch for a phone or little fire kits or whatever you wanted to do. So take care.